Hey guys, Troy here, back with another video today. And yep, if you're reading this, I got scammed. You hate to see it, you hate to see it. Now, I even hesitated making this video, to be honest. I think it'll definitely be helpful to some of you people who are newer to the card hobby, learn some things to maybe protect yourself that you didn't know. But I was like, well, you know, are people who have been in this, is this really gonna help them? But apparently, at least some people, who I'll include myself in there, who've been in the card hobby for a little bit, we still are susceptible to scams. So maybe it'll even be able to help some of you guys, at the very least, be a type of refresher. So I'll tell my story really quickly, and then we'll get into some concrete steps that you guys can use to protect yourself and make sure nobody is scamming you in any type of way in this card hobby. So I put out a post on Facebook saying I was looking for rookie cards of some of my favorite players from the 2000s, PK, Neuer, Xavi, a lot of these different guys who I felt were kind of underrated and slept on, but that's not the point of this video. So someone reached out to me. They didn't comment on the post, but they sent me a Facebook message, and I didn't answer it because I just didn't see it. Then they followed up again and said they had a PK rookie, and I said, okay, cool, yeah, can I get that? And then we worked out a deal on a Musa as well, and he said a price, and then I said, you know, could you do this price? He said yes, and then he said, can you send it friends and family so I can save on the commission? And I guess, I don't know what I was thinking. I was believing in the good faith of the soccer card world. And the good news is it was a relatively small amount of money. It was 40 bucks. So I was like, is this guy really gonna scam me over $40? It's fine, I'll just send it friends and family. And to be quite honest, I was just being lazy. So I sent the money, and then he said, okay, I got it. And then the first excuse already came, which is fine. It's happened to me before too, when I can't ship things that very moment. I get it, but he's like, I got it. It's a party day tomorrow, so I can't send it, but then I'll send it right after that. And I was like, okay, cool, no worries. I'm sure he'll send it. And then to be quite honest, I just forgot about it. I was like, you know, I was doing a lot of deals at the time. Then I thought about, wait, I never got my PK rookie. So now today, it was, you know, almost a month later, a couple days ago, I messaged him. I was like, hey man, were you able ever to get this out? He didn't send me any messages. I was like, do you have the tracking number for this? And he didn't respond. He just read it and didn't respond at all. So that's when I was already a little worried. I sent him just the question marks following up. And then he said, hey, you know, it's been 24 hours at this point. He goes, 24 hours, and it had been, you know, almost a month since I sent the money. And he goes, oh, I'm not in the house. I can't find the tracking number. And I was like, okay, yeah, that's no worries. Just, can you send it when you get home? And he's like, yeah, when I get home, I'll send it. So I waited another full day. And I said, hey, were you able to find that tracking number? You know, it's understandable that people don't get to ship at the exact moment, or maybe someone doesn't have the tracking number handy on them right away. But if it's been almost a month, within a day, I'm gonna be able to find that tracking number. So I sent it again. Once again, he read it and didn't respond. And I said, hey man, that's fine. Maybe you honestly can't find the tracking number, but if that's the case, the least you can do is respond when it's been a month. And once again, so we've had one excuse, we had two excuses, and then now comes the third excuse, talking about, I haven't found it, and it hasn't been a month, it's only been 22 days. And then I sent another message and still no response. So at this point, I'm just considering it's dead. I've officially been scammed. So my mistake in this case was pretty simple. I paid with PayPal at the friends. I didn't use goods and services. If you are buying off eBay, that's the first thing. And you veterans definitely know this, but you probably need a reminder, because I apparently needed one as well. Never pay with friends and family on PayPal. If you use goods and services, you are protected by PayPal, and they will side with the buyer 99.9 times, you know, out of 100. They're gonna be with you almost every time. That'll protect you. But if you send friends, the person, like happened to me, they can just take your money, and there's pretty much nothing you can do. So that was my personal mistake, but I'm also gonna quickly go through some of the other scams I've seen happen to people and what's kind of the best way to avoid them. I'm kind of gonna group a bunch together, and the best way to avoid a lot of these other different scams is avoiding things that are too good to be true. I had a friend who told me, oh, I picked up a Devin Booker orange prism. I got it for $70. Can you believe it? A rookie. And I was like, actually, you know what? No, I can't believe it. Let me see, who'd you buy it from? I want to see the conversation. And it was a brand new Instagram account. That's another thing. Always be wary. Brand new Instagrams, brand new Facebooks, all these different, even brand new eBays to an extent. You have to be wary of those. That is the red lights are always flashed that it could be a potential scammer. So in that case, it was too good to be true. I told him, I said, listen, that's an $1,000 card, probably more. Let's say maybe it's common sense. You could have got it for maybe 800, maybe even $750, you get lucky. But no one is ever gonna sell an $1,000 card for $70, at least not in that kind of situation with a new card like a Devin Booker Prism. And it was a similar story, just like with my thing. They're trying to delay you so you don't charge back your credit card or you get outside of PayPal's protection window. I always give people one or even two excuses. It happens to the best of us. You forgot the tracking number somewhere, or you got busy at work, you weren't able to send it. But after that, it's done. He was telling him, oh, I couldn't get to the office today, my card broke down, or oh, I misplaced the card. And then they start getting really defensive. Oh, who are you to question me? I don't even want to do this deal anymore. Just making excuses, buying time. Number one clear sign of a scammer. Next one I hear about a lot is fake cards. People have sent me, they've gotten fake Messis, fake Jordans. It's hard to 100% protect about this, because I haven't talked about it. I just had a huge, great PSA submission where I bought some Messi rookies raw. They could have easily been fake. If anything, the signs kind of pointed to them being fake, and I just kind of rolled the dice and got lucky. So I'm not gonna say never buy raw cards, but especially with these legends, I'm not gonna say anything in absolutes, but there are probably not any Karl Anthony Town Prism fakes or, Tyler Hero optics. People aren't faking these cards for the most part. At least that's been my experience. I haven't seen those. So if you're buying those raw, you're probably safe. That they may not come in good condition. You got to be careful of that, but the cards will more likely than not be real. But if you're talking about Jordans, Messi's, these iconic, even LeBron's to an extent, these iconic cards, those are the cards that people actually do fake. And if you're buying those raw, I would be very, very wary. With Jordans, I probably wouldn't do it at all. And I can tell you about the colors and inspecting and all these different type of things. I'm sure there's a way you can get to a very strong point where you can really inspect a card, these high-end Messis, for instance, and know 100% it's real or it's fake. But that's a lot of skill and time. So just for the sake of this video, I'll just tell you guys to be very, very careful if you're buying expensive cards raw. Next ones will kind of go a little quicker to get through this more rapid fire. If you're buying on eBay, you're almost 100% good. If anything, eBay is way too far on your side. Pretty much for any reason, if you're not satisfied with what you received, or definitely if you don't receive it, eBay will take care of you. So if you're buying on eBay and you're the buyer, I'm not gonna say in absolutes, I'd be careful buying from sellers with zero feedback or something that's too good to be true, but in general, you're protected. However, if you're a seller, I've heard a lot of horror stories. The easiest one that's happened to me that I just hate is selling a card raw, even in a slab, even if you disclose the flaws or you show the pictures and anything. Once again, eBay protects the buyer no matter what. So in a lot of cases, if the value of the card goes down, or even I guess it's somewhat genuine if the buyer sees it and it's not a PSA 10, they can just return it. Only ways to protect yourself there to the best of your abilities are try to sell on my slabs, no returns, sell to people you know on Instagram. That's another good one. And try to stay away from buyers with low feedback or people who are new. You can or they're asking a million different questions. That might be a sign that this is gonna be someone who's gonna return your card just if the value goes down. Next scam I see a good amount of, be wary of razzes or lines. And I have no doubt, I don't personally partake in these things because it's just natural. The odds are never gonna be in your favor. It's like going to a casino. They wouldn't set up if the odds were in your favor. I'm sure there are people who are doing it legitimately, but I just always be wary, even if they can show, I know you can like post the RAS or like to give away a link or something like that, but in any situation where you're putting a lot of trust in someone to do things fairly, just be careful. Especially like these eBay, these hot packs. I'm not saying all hot packs, all RASs are bad, but just know that there is a pretty significant chance you could get scammed there. So just be careful with that. New breakers as well. That's one I hear a ton of people entering breaks with people who are not recognized. I'm not a huge brake guy, but I know there's like Leighton sports cars and soccer, there's soccer breakers. If I was, or Slabstox, shout out to them. If you were gonna do a break, I would go with one of those people. If it's just some random person on Instagram hitting me up saying, hey, join my break. Once again, shout out to you guys if you're trying to make it and build something up, but I've heard tons and tons of stories of people just not getting the cards, or they pull something big and they move it to the side off the camera. That's another way that you can get scammed. But those were just the first things that came to my head. Hopefully that can help you guys avoid getting scammed. I am by no means an expert on this. Obviously we can see that. I just got scammed myself, so
what an idiot.
Hopefully we can have a productive discussion below. We could all help out each other. What have you guys learned? What do you stay away from? Definitely comment your best tips to avoid people getting scammed, especially for people who are new. I want everyone to have a good experience in the hobby, and stuff like this, if I had been new and this had happened, I've seen it really turn people off and just exit the hobby completely. So that's not what I want to see. But if you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe down below, and we're gonna keep the videos coming. Thanks again.